Welcome, everybody. It's your girl, Delores, just the pink girl in my pink world, here on every social platform with my good brother, J News, as you all hear. It's popping off that we are live, okay? So, J News, do you got anything you want to tell the good people today?
It is Sunday, October 12th, 2025, currently here on the East Coast in the United States. Welcome to the Hit the Ropes podcast with your good brother Jay News and the lovely Delores. It has been a couple of weeks since I have been on, ready to talk about all the things that happened in the wrestling space in the past week. So we should get on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. It's time for us to go over to the Hit the Ropes Studios podcast. And here we are for the Hit the Ropes podcast. It's time for review. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time is a review. It's time to have a good old time. So let's get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with WWE, as we always do. It always wants to put us on stage, Monday Night Raw. We started off with Monday Night Raw 1689 on the 6th. Sorry, the way the writing is. It was 10/6/25. We had a non-title match where Maxine Dupree actually defeated Becky Lynch by a countout. Roxanne Perez defeated Laura Valkyria. Kairi Sane defeated Io Sky. AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, and Penta defeated the Judgment Day of Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough. And CM Punk and LA Knight defeated the Usos, Jay and Jimmy Uso. Did you see this, Jay News, and what did you think about it?
I caught bits and pieces of the highlights of Raw this week. It was a very interesting outcome as to how they had Maxine Dupree get her win over Becky Lynch. I thought that was fun. So good for Maxine. Becky's still hamming it up as a heel and things of that nature. Maxine's definitely improved in the ring a lot in the last year, so I got to give her credit for that. So hopefully, within due time, she puts together the complete package and things can take off for her in some form or fashion. Roxanne Perez versus Lyra. I think that ended. Even though Roxanne got the win, there was shenanigans going on there.
Yeah, there was a lot of shenanigans on this show.
Yeah, so there was that part of it. Decent enough match between Roxanne and Lyra. They'll be on WWE TV for the next decade, so this will be the last match they have. So that is what that is. Kairi Sane defeating Io Sky. Yet again, more shenanigans here. Definitely a hard-hitting match. I did not expect that to go down on Raw between Io Sky and Kairi Sane, but they for those who understand what I'm about to say, they kept the Joshi on Raw, yeah, which was interesting to see. So credit to the ladies for doing the damn thing and killing it during their match. And then obviously shenanigans are going to be shenanigans, so it is what it is there. But they do. I got to give for all the flack that the WWE's been getting about their TV lately. There are bits and pieces in certain storylines and certain characters that have been standing out in recent weeks in the last month or so. So I got to give them credit where credit is due. And Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, and what's going on with Io Sky and Rhea has been good. I like what's going on with Lyra and Bailey. I'm not too sure what the plan is with Roxanne and Raquel going forward, but I do like what's going on with Lyra and Bailey. Outside of that, the next match, this was just put together at the end of the day. There wasn't any real stakes involved in that 6-man match there.
I think one of the three opponents will beat Dominic for the WWE title. He will remain being the triple triple I champion. But other than that, I think one of these three people, or unless they have like a multi man match, one of them has to be him because they are the three main people that always are getting into it with him.
Yeah, I've been seeing that the last month or so and whatnot. I'm not too sure if they'll give AJ Styles an IC title run. Um,
I don't
drag.
know, maybe they might because he's been getting a lot of push and promotion since he mentioned he's on his retirement tour
Mhm.
now going to 2026. They might give him the bone and let him, have this title since it's not like a big name title for him to have because it seems like he's been getting a warm reception everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
So
He's made it clear on countless different podcasts he's been on the last couple of weeks that his plan is to retire in 2026, and him going to a backstage role with the WWE and things of that nature. I don't have anything bad to say about AJ Styles. At the end of the day, the performer. I've always admired AJ Styles for his style and his grit and his intensity and things of that nature, especially for being quote unquote an undersized guy in the business for the last 20 or so years. And he's had a legendary career across many different promotions. So
promotions, yeah.
at the end of the day, maybe Penta. I still can't see Dragon Lee defeating Dominic Mysterio at this point in his WWE
Well, the
career.
only reason why I say they might give AJ the title is because we had a short-lived run with uh I just I don't know why my brain just erased. Uh AJ Styles just faced him yesterday, and I act like I don't know.
John Cena.
John Cena. John Cena won a title and a major title at that for and had it for a short period of time.
Hmm.
So I'm assuming that you have to 2026, you can let this man hold one title for a little bit, just a little.
Yeah, we'll see at the end of
He
the day.
out of the three, he's been beefing with Dominic the longest.
Right. So yeah, there's that. But we'll see as to what happens. They have a couple of more a couple more PLEs to go for the remainder of the year. I think it's like another 4 or 5. I don't know.
I know NXT has one at the end of the month. November, they've already uh put that one up. Or the stadium show they're gonna have in Petco.
Hmm.
That one's already up. And so other than that, I haven't seen any other things listed. Which for 2 months straight, the past 2 months, they've been having two main pay-per-views, two NXT pay-per-views. But this month they only had one main that's on and one well actually I would say two, but they had AAA, WWE had two, and NXT had one. So it's like they split them up. But I don't know what AAA is gonna do this month. But I know we had Crown Jewel, and then we'll have Halloween Havoc, which I am really pissed off. Versus, you're gonna put my favorite two people against each other on the night that I go live for Halloween Havoc. That makes me mad. Okay, I want to party and with the No Limit Soldiers and and Cash Money Millionaires. Come on now, why you got to do this to me? Why you had to put it on the 25th? Why
I
you
forgot
can't put
about
it on
that.
another date?
I saw a post about that online maybe a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Is Versus still a thing?"
They
And
just brought it back.
yeah, and then I saw that it was going to be Cash Money versus No Limit, and I was like, "Well, we're back in 1997, 98 right now." It seems
Listen,
like, so we'll see as to how this.
listen, I don't care. And I said this yesterday. I don't care what you got to say about how slow the Shocker was rapping. I enjoyed them songs. I'm sorry. I had a good time listening to them songs back in the day. I can rap a word for word. Now, some of these new people, I can't catch you. Okay, I give you a little bit. Now, unless you Cardi B, I don't know how to rap your songs.
Yeah,
But listen, I was just like, this ain't it.
we'll
This
see.
ain't it.
I mean, you know, all that stuff is on streaming anyway, so you can probably just catch it later or whatever. So I don't think
I want to party in the moment. You know how like sometimes even with like WWE, if you're not watching it live, you go back and that thing be bleeped out, stuff be missing. You be like, hold on, this ain't what happened. I watched this live. So I think this show was the show before the pay per view for Raw. Now, forewarning, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Raw watcher, tomorrow Raw comes on at 8 a.m.
Are they still in Australia?
Yes.
Oh,
So
wow.
they will come on at 8 because that's a 30-hour flight.
Mm.
They can't get back in enough time. So
Because I thought they were going to Japan after Australia. That's why. So
where they might be, I think they are. Uh oh yeah, because they do have a Japan show, like a super show in Japan.
Mhm.
So yeah. But I think they are, how can I say it? They I knew that they were going to have an early morning show when I noticed the Usos were there. And shout out to the Usos. People have been joking all week about them not being able to fly over there. I don't know what WWE did, but now they be able to go places. But it's the fact that when I saw the Usos and then I saw, because you know yesterday was Rhea Ripley's birthday, that they did all the other competitors like Raquel and Roxanne and all the other people did happy birthday clips that they put together on the
Mhm.
WWE content. I was like, so everybody's there, so they got to be doing the show there. And then during the show, they announced that they were doing um an 8 a.m. show tomorrow. I wish I could go live, but I got a class at 9, and I know that thing gonna last about 2 hours, 2 3 hours. I ain't got that type of time. Okay, so the Usos. We also know that this was the moment where we found out that Roman didn't want nothing to do with them at this pay per view. We'll
Yeah,
see how that ends when we get to the pay per view review.
right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, me and J News, you know where we go. We go to the back. And you know what happens? We go on over to NXT, ladies and gentlemen. In it, oop, tried to go too far now. NXT 806 was a very simple show where they went against TNA. Ladies and gentlemen, we started off with the NXT Tag Team title slash TNA World title winner takes all match. And guess who won? The Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt Hardy. They defeated Dark State, Dion Lennox, and Osiris Griffin to take the NXT Tag Team title. For the NXT versus TNA Women's Survivor Style Elimination match with the special referee of Jordan Grace, we had TNA Team NXT defeat Team TNA, which NXT was JC Jane, Jada Parker, Lola Vice, Sol Ruka. Team TNA was Cassie Lee, Jesse McKay, Kaylani Jordan, and Mara Sade. Okay. We had for the WWE NXT North American title match, Ethan Page defeated Mustafa Ali. For the NXT versus TNA Men's Survivors Elimination match, which had Joe Hendry as special referee. Team TNA, which was Frankie Kazarian, Leon Slater, Mike Santana, and Moose, defeated Team NXT of Javon Evans, Miles Bourne, Ricky Saints, and Trick Williams. Did you see any of this, J News, and what did you think?
No. This was on Tuesday. Tuesday, I was what was I doing? I was at a screening for the New York Film Festival, so I was not able to watch any wrestling on Tuesday. I did try whatever came on my feed is what I saw. My YouTube feed is what I saw from NXT, and the only thing that I saw from NXT was that the Hardys won the NXT tag team titles. Everything else was more or less like of a blur. There wasn't any explanation in the short video clips through what happened with NXT. I saw that Jordan Grace was a special guest referee in a match. I didn't necessarily know who who won what and what happened and things of that nature. It was interesting to see Mustafa Ali back in a WWE ring, to say the least. I've said this before on other podcasts. I will say it here. Uh, I understand Mustafa Ali's convictions when it comes to where he sides belief wise and politically and things of that nature. But this man waffles more when it comes to the wrestling business than anyone I've ever seen in my life. For someone
I
who was
think he thought he could do a Cody Rhodes. Some of them feel like they could do a Cody Rhodes. I
for
don't know if
someone,
you have seen that some of the level up NXT people are leaving. Listen, some of you all, and we had some releases. Some of you all, I couldn't pinpoint with a flashlight. The only person that I even cared about leaving or getting released was Wesley. That was it. Rest of
yeah,
you all, I couldn't even tell you who you are. I've seen you wrestle, and it really did bother me that you left. These whole drawn out car and house scenes where you're sitting there and like, I need to bet on myself. I don't care about that. We don't care.
it's not for you though, Dolores. It's for them. It's an accountability thing. But I'd say this just to set my point out about Mustafa Ali. For a guy who dogged the WWE on his way out, he sure as hell is okay with spending some time in their arenas and in their rings and lying to the fans about where he's going to go and what he's going to participate in and things of that nature. Real
They trying to
politician,
pull a Cody. I told you.
real
They
real
trying to pull a
politician there,
Cody.
real
When you
politician.
when you feel like you have left and you proved yourself well enough, when they come and look for you, it's like not everybody can do that. Not everybody, even with CM Punk, he had to do a little bit of like, hey, I'm sorry. Okay. He had to come to them a little bit with a little bit, I'm sorry. It's you rarely find where somebody where you can dog the company. Because I mean, Cody was dragging them for fifth, dragging them with their hair, beating them and stomping them and kicking them. And he was like, "You gonna need me before I need you." And the fact that even he talks about having a phone call with then Vince, and Vince being like, I really am interested. I need, I want you back. It's like even he was like, I felt like I had done something, and I was like, okay. When the man who fired you or didn't want you or mistreated you is the one who has to ask you to come back. They want that type of feeling. I don't think none of them are really gonna have that because Shawn Michaels is Shawn Michaels and he is a big believer of it is what it is. Okay. And it's great that we spend this time together, but I'll get rid of you. As far as some of the other people that got released, either you had a lot of injuries or you was just not pulling the weight. Nobody was interested in your character. You weren't developing as much. And so you left. Wesley was the only person that was genuinely, I feel like, deserved a shot. And essentially his only other place he could go to AEW, but he probably would go to TNA, and TNA is pretty much WWE still. So it's
You're talking about the releases that happened over the last couple of days.
uh-huh.
There was like from what I remember reading, it was 14 different talents who were released from their WWE contracts and or whatever um, iteration of a contract that it was. It was a combination of people who were on LFG, Evolve, the WWE ID thing, and obviously you're talking about Wesley, um, aka Dez. For all intents and purposes, the WWE does this every quarter. I guess it's the end of a quarter at this point. And they make releases. A lot of the releases that were made here were really really young talents and talents that weren't necessarily given a lot of time to shine. The only ones of note, like you said, Wesley is one of note. The other one that I thought was a little bit surprising because she's on TV every week was Stevie Turner. So she's a freaking TV presence. She's on TV every week. Be it on
Yeah.
she was Ball's general manager. She always opened the show on NXT. But she seems really happy to, at least from something that I read that she posted on Twitter. She seems really happy to at least want to get back into the ring because she wants to wrestle. So she's going to get the opportunity to do that once her 30 days are up.
Yeah.
Of all the other talents that were mentioned in the releases, I didn't know any of them. I hadn't watched any of them. I think one of the young men had something very like he said something during in the days when Hulk Hogan passed away or whatever the case is. I forget which one of those guys it was. And then the young lady, the young Asian lady, Jintala, I think was the name that she was going with.
Jintala.
Yeah.
So it was Wesley, Lance Anoa'i, Stevie Turner, Kaylee Ray, Zeta Steele, Brandon BJ Ray, Hayes Jameson, Summer Sorrell, Draco Knox, Gentala, Jamar Hampton, and Zara Zakir.
Yeah, Zara Zakir was she was on the high end of the indie scene when it came to the ladies. So when the WWE idea came about, she was one of the first signees that was signed to that WWE ID program and contract. But now she's stepping away from wrestling. She doesn't know if she's going to come back to it or not. But she was very highly touted. Kylie Ray was let go of her contract because she's currently pregnant, so she won't be working anytime soon. And like I said, I don't know the remaining bunch of the people there. But good luck to everybody at the end of the day.
Lance was let go, they said.
Yeah, he was injured the majority of the time.
He was injured
he was injured the majority of the time. So, he'll be back on the indies at the end of the day. Hey, Ruby. He'll be back on the indies sometime soon. That's where Lance was cutting his teeth for the last 10 years. It's not like he's new to professional wrestling at the end of the day. So, once he's free and clear and he's healthy and stuff like that, he'll be making his rounds again. So
when can we start labeling people as injury prone?
I don't necessarily know. I think from
Lance has a history of being injured a lot.
From a health and from a health and physiology perspective, injury proneness or being prone to injury always depends on, by majority, folks' awareness and their surroundings and things of that nature. So and some things are just coincidental and freak, like what happened to Ibushi last Thursday. At the end of the day.
that was freak.
And
at a certain point, when you get injured so many times in so many ways, I would think in my head as a boss, I would look at you and be like, even before you get here, you're very injury prone. And I need to, even with Adam Cole, I kind of be like, you are very injury prone. Like you keep getting injured. And I think that it's hard to label people like that, but at a certain time, when you keep saying, like, imagine yourself as an owner and your employee is constantly getting injured. You are paying them to do nothing but stay at home and recover. How many times can you do that before you go, I'm wasting money at this point?
Right. No, that's definitely understandable. And it also depends on the person's talent as well, right? Because other people don't necessarily need to be in the ring in order to be a contributor to the TV show. That's why a lot of folks go to commentary, or they'll do backstage stuff, or they'll just be a character on TV. And in Adam Cole's case, depending as to that's all on Adam really, as to what he wants to do. I'm sure he could have been on Collision commentary instead of freaking Tony Schiavone for all we know, because Adam's good at it, but it depends on if he wanted to do it or not. and how he wanted to rehabilitate and stuff like that. But with Lance Anoa'i, like, it's different, man, because it could be suggested to change your style, right, in order to save your body more, which is what Ibushi was doing at the end of the day. But yet again, like I said, Ibushi's injury was a freak injury at the end of the day. You can suggest somebody to change their wrestling style. You can suggest some people to slow down and things of that nature, But it all depends on whatever the person takes heed
I
to.
think it's harder for taller wrestlers to acclimate to like they seem to get injured because they're tall as a lot of weight putting on their bones and body, and it just seems like. But with Lance, when I thought about it, every promotion I've ever seen him in, he's had some type of injury, and I'm like, they gambled. I think they wanted to put him, work him up to like a bloodline stuff, but if you're gonna keep getting injured and you literally, and that's what they talked about, I think on I forgot which show it was, that he literally was injured, got back well, got injured again. And it was
Mhm.
like, so at that point, you got, no matter how, if you got an ideal of a storyline you want to put him in or not, you got to cut him.
Right, and to that point, just from a physiology standpoint, the science of it all, for folks who aren't aware, there are things in there are the way people train, what it is that they eat and what they consume can either harm and or aid you in keeping your body healthy and things of that nature. So there's a lot that goes into that, and a lot of people don't do the research and the self work in order to know what's best for their body. Um, so that'll be something, especially if you're going to be in the wrestling space, which is, regardless of what people think, wrestling being scripted and everything else in between, you're still doing a physical activity. You're still active in doing things that are athletic. So find out what works best for your body from a training standpoint. Find out what works for your body from a dietary standpoint, and find out what works best for you body wise, from a recovery standpoint as well. How much sleep you get, and if you need to do more mobility or agility or flexibility work and things of that nature. That's stuff that you have to find out and take the time to find out. So I'm just putting that out there for folks who aren't aware and who think or believe that you yourselves are injury prone. You're not. You just haven't found the good mix of what it is to do to maintain your body. So do the work. You know, learn yourselves, and then go from there. That's really what it is when it comes to stuff, because people have turned their careers around after being labeled injury prone for years and things of that nature. So folks just have to learn themselves and be better at taking care of their bodies, in depend from where they were and what they want to do in the future.
Yeah, see, look, that's that good training advice I told you J News be having. That's why y'all got to go over there, hit him up so he can work out a plan for you. Okay. And to Ruby's question, I am doing good. I hope you're doing good.
It is
Um,
it is a dreary day here in New York City, but I am doing okay. I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking.
listen, I was glad to see the sun because it's been cold the past few days. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go back in the way back. Bow. And we're gonna go over to the next thing, which was SmackDown. SmackDown was on Friday the 10th on USA Network. It was SmackDown 1364. We have for the WWE United States title match. It ended in a no contest. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. We had Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton defeat Kiana James and Julia. We have for the WWE Tag Team title match, the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis, and Joe Gacy defeat the Street Profits of Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. And in the last standing match, we saw Aleister Black and his wife, with a little bit of his wife's help, defeat Damian Priest. Jay News, did you see this and what did you think?
I saw all the different highlights and clips. Thank you to the USA Network YouTube channel for allowing long form clips of these matches because I got something to say about AEW's recent YouTube foray in the last couple weeks. But regardless, excellent match between Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. I was surprised to see Shinsuke back in a WWE ring. I was elated to hear his old theme.
Oh yes, I was jamming to it.
Thank you to whoever is now a part of creative over on SmackDown for giving Nakamura his old theme and the Street Profits their old theme back, even though they won't be together for too much longer and things of that nature. But Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura went to a no contest because the returning MFT's Tamatanga of God came back. God came back with the war paint on. God as in the
Wait a
Gorillas.
minute, the dead president's makeup?
No. It's their own thing that they came up with when they were in New Japan. But I would say it's similar to it from a color standpoint and things of that nature. I was surprised to see Jeff Cobb with the face paint on.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, that threw me off a little bit, but it is what it is.
The ending, like when they got to the Wyatt Six match and they showed up, I wanted to know why was they like I forgot who it was that was staring a hole down like he was about to hit her into Nikki's face. They was
Solo. It was Solo.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? Like he was looking like, come on, we about to fight, and I was like,
y'all can't put a woman
in the group. Like y'all just gonna look at this woman like y'all gonna fight her.
She's
like,
the craziest
I'm down for it.
She's the craziest one. But it was interesting to see that now the MFTs, as they call them on WWE TV, I'll call them the Gorillas of Destiny because that's who they are to me. That whole entire clique outside of Jeff Cobb, the brothers, the kings of the kids of Haku, they're all together there. They seem to be wanting to make some noise here. It seems that they're going to be vying for the WWE tag team titles on SmackDown soon enough, and obviously Solo and Sammy are still going at it at some sort of level there. I actually liked the Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton versus Julia and Kiana James match. Stephanie and Tiffany really worked well together, which surprised the hell out of me, to be quite honest. So good on the girls for doing that. I think it's been enough time for what I'm about to say. And I understand that people have this love for talent being on WWE TV and things of that nature. This Julia experiment on WWE has not worked. It just hasn't at all. And for people but her NXT work was great. Was it really? I
think it was okay until Kiana came along.
No, it has nothing to do with Kiana James. Ain't got nothing to do with Kiana James.
Kiana because we
no,
Julia, they should have built her like they did Oscar, where she was like a silent assassin up here whooping and dog walking people.
Julia has not worked.
The times we saw her, it was great.
Julia has not worked on the WWE level. She just hasn't. And I'm not saying that takes away from her in-ring ability and talents as a wrestler. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that WWE has not known what to do with her, and they continue not to know what to do with her in the same way that they don't know what to do with Mi Chin, aka Mia Yim. Like, there's plenty of people on the WWE roster who just don't work on the WWE level, and that's okay because there's other places that they can go. Is all I'm saying at the end of the day.
I hate to say it because I know she can do well, but I always, and I'm going to stand 10 toes down on this. Kiana James has no business being a part of this. No business. Listen, girl might be great, okay? She might be good. She might be okay. But to me, she's not there. And then all she is good for is, I'm going to try to word this in a different way. Most of the internet community call her a corn accountant. And if you replace the C in corn with a P, you know what I'm talking about. And
what the hell? For what? What has she done
Because
to
she
deserve
looks
that?
like one of them people that at the beginning of the movie is like, "Can I help you with your?"
I hear
Like,
that,
she
but
just
that's a characterization. That's unfair at the end of the
listen. She
day.
looks like it, and she walks. Also, on why did this man pose a question of if he named something, which he had some weird names, and he said big purse. And everybody in the comment was like, Keanu James. And he was like, yes. And I was looking at him like, this is how we identify her. She looks like a corn accountant. And then she has a big purse. We don't care about nothing else that she got going on past that. And I'll
Yeah,
be looking at them like, either
but
change her character or she gonna have to go back down because this is not working at all. Her walking
but
around with a purse all the time and it's a loaded purse all the time. It's not like back in the day with this what's it sensational series with
mm,
knocking people with her purse. This is not it. I need them to take her away and let Julia be Julia on her own. Because
uh,
that's something, if you want to compare to her NXT days, she stood alone by herself.
she did stand alone by herself. But what happened was is that once Stephanie Vaquer got to NXT because they were there at the same time, Stephanie outshined Julia, and that has more to has to do. I can't I couldn't even tell you if it's a charisma thing. It's definitely not a skill and technique thing. I feel like Julia's English is actually better than Stephanie's English. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know what it is that the WWE's missing when it comes to Julia. Kiana James, look, I never watched enough of that girl when she was on NXT because she was part of 2.0, and I
She was
wasn't watching
bad.
NXT back.
She was bad then and she
I
bad now.
wasn't watching back then, but she seemed solid enough in the ring from what I saw in this match, and she does solid work when it comes to mic stuff and things of that nature. But you know, if she's gonna if and I know that they added her to Julia's act more for being a mouthpiece than anything else, unnecessarily. To your point, Dolores, like you know, and they had to give her something to do. She had been away for more than 18 months. It was you know, it's always a whole bunch of stuff. But for right now, you know, my point is that the WWE Julia experiment has not gone
Would
as
you be
well.
opposed to them building her like Oscar?
Yes, because you don't want to do the repeat stuff
But
at the end.
I'm saying, and not as like exactly, but just
Nah,
Julia is known for hard hitting style.
she
Oscar was known for a hard hitting style.
most
And
Japanese women are.
I
That's
mean,
the thing.
listen, I, I hate that I'm gonna say this because I had an affinity for her.
Hmm.
But Blake Monroe,
What about her?
she was in Stardom, and I tell you that girl ain't taking no lick like Oscar. She ain't giving
Right,
no lick like Oscar.
right.
So some of them really ain't gonna do that, but some of them are very hard hitting, and I think Oscar was a mysterious where when you said Oscar's gonna kill you, they really thought that because she really gave out this aura like I'm not taking no mess. I'm coming in here. I'm just knocking. Back elbowing everybody and their mama. Julia comes out. She looks stern.
Right.
You got homegirl over on the side, and she just holding her purse. And when she gets to talking, it's like, so what we're not gonna do. And I'm looking at her like, you are with a natural born killer over here, and you over here just. So what we're not gonna do, and she always wants to point her finger. What we're not gonna do is we're not gonna. And I'm looking at her like,
I mean,
this
but that,
don't mesh. I
that
need you at least if you could, just one time, put Julia with somebody who is on her level as far as hard hitting and maybe as Oscar still gets by not speak. Julia speaks better English than Oscar.
yes,
And
absolutely.
it's no reason.
But at the end of
No reason.
they've missed the mark with her. They've missed the mark with Julia. They really
I
have.
think they can revive her. And they just need to first separate that lady.
At this point, taking Julia off of TV or taking at least taking that U.S. women's belt off of her would be
Yeah.
step number one, and then step number two, if you have to reinvigorate her character somehow, figure that out some way, somehow. Same thing for Kiana James. I agree with you there, Dolores. If they're gonna do anything, they need to repackage both of these girls to do something better with them. When Julia came in to the WWE, it was more about Julia's look than it was about her personality, right? Because Julia has a very unique look to her. And obviously she has a very unique wrestling style and things of that nature.
I need to find out her doing her braids because them things be fire.
I mean, yeah. I mean, she's always she's always done tremendous work with her hair. And overall, between Japan and here.
You all do. I know some people have said to me, "How do you notice this stuff, Dolores?" I've noticed this stuff because it sometimes it's in your face so much that you cannot notice it.
Right.
For instance, John Cena bald spot. It's a man that be in Fightful chat that has a picture of John Cena's different bald spots he switched his profile to, and his name is John Cena bald spot. I have no choice but to now notice this bald spot that has been pointed out to me 50 million times. Or even with who was it? Mercedes, that lady Mercedes, whatever her name is, who her wig slips every match. It was at first she used to look horrified. Now she is a part of her stick. But it was like, girl, you can't keep that wig on. And that's the point where I started to notice stuff like this is when it becomes noticeable. When people kept calling her the corn accountant, I looked and I was like, and she does. And then when they call her big bag, and I'm like, well, her bag ain't that big. And then her bag, if you notice, has gotten bigger and bigger from NXT. And she's got it like holding it like it's some groceries. And I'm like, so
yeah, you know, at this point, then you have to take into account that they're doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So
but it's making her look worse.
There is that with it at the end of the day. So I would say that talking about the next match, the tag match, the tag champs retained here, but this was also one of those things where it was less about the match and more about the disintegration of the Street Profits going forward, and also obviously the newfound feud that will be seen between the members of the MFTs and the Wyatt Six. So
this sparked a lot of controversy in a certain type of way.
What do you mean?
Because you seeing the Street Profits disintegrate. Made you wonder. And WWE didn't help it on Crown Jewel the next night. Where is Bianca? Why isn't she back? This is the question that everybody starts to ask, even a couple of days before. But it got loud on Friday on the internet. Because if you watch Crown Jewel, there was a commercial. Montez and Bianca. And they out there just enjoying life on the beach, having a good time. She has been posting them on like trips. They went on to Aleister Black's wife show with the girl. Yeah, and they talked about their relationship and stuff. Where she in the beginning was wearing this thing on her finger that she was injured. She looks perfectly fine. Her fingers, she's moving her fingers again. What she had talked about on the internet, not really having motion. So she looks healthy. Where is she? And then when you show a commercial with her and Montez having a good time, living carefree on the beach, enjoying, and it's like this commercial where they just enjoying the beach and having fun. Where is she? Where is she? Or what are you going to do with her? Now the Street Profits are breaking up. You never did really put them with her. You don't know what you're going to do with her. She doesn't look like anything's wrong. It's just like she's just living carefree, taking a break. But this break has been since after WrestleMania?
Yeah.
So it's like, what's going on? Because now you had the Street Profits doing these vignettes, like they were working together, they were getting back to the old Street Profit ways. Now you're going to break them up. We don't know what Bianca is, which you all should have had them together. Once you'd have had anything else for Bianca, you should have put them together. because that's what everybody would have loved. It would have sold a lot of merch. It would have been whatever. Because the moment when I forgot which match they had where the lady was messing with Montez and she stepped in, that should have been the moment we could have gotten them together. Okay, you missed the opportunity. You still could have put them together this way. Because you look across the ring, you see Nikki, who is backing up Montez and them.
BFAB.
B5 can't do nothing. I mean, I hate to say it.
I mean, that's they put her with them for that particular instance, right? Because they didn't want to pigeonhole Bianca. They didn't want to have her as the female member of the Street Profits at the end of the day, because she was her own character, right? And and Bianca has had a successful singles career as a WWE talent at the end of the day, and they're still trying to find what's best or suitable for BFAB at the end of the day. And I think that BFAB worked with the Profits at the end of the day, but they've been working on this whole breakup between Dawkins and Montez Ford, and now we're nearing the culmination of it all. So we'll see as to how it all works out and stuff like that. To answer your question about Bianca Belair and where she's been, at the end of the day, she's yet to be cleared for action, from my understanding. That finger injury that she caught at Mania was worse than what she originally thought, and so she still has yet to be cleared. Hopefully she'll be cleared soon, and we'll see her back in a WWE ring sooner rather than later. The last man standing match was interesting, to say the least. They finally gave Aleister Black a win here. They finally paired Aleister Black with his wife, which is a cool thing, which is, I think, something that he's been wanting for quite a while, and vice versa, her with him and him with her. And it came at the cost of Damian Priest, the Punisher that he is at the end of the day. But it seems like someone is lurking online. She seems to be interested in this new feud. So we might be seeing a future pairing of Damian Priest with his alleged, I can't confirm nor deny, his alleged girlfriend, the person he might be dating, Lola Vice, has been keeping eyes on this situation. You're muted, Dolores. Dolores, you're muted. I can't hear you. Yeah. Anyways, I think Dolores is working on getting her audio back.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Microphone died. That was one from yesterday. I swap them out. But what I was saying was, she's been very open with him on social media.
She has.
And that's the last time, you remember, was it Katana?
Kaden Carter, aka
they were very close, but now you see Kaden and what's the man from AEW?
Bandito.
Yes. Time Bandito been locked in. I was like, okay, you just got somebody. Okay, let's go. She said, I see what Mercedes is doing, and I'm trying to do the same thing. I said, I got you, sis. I got you. We locked down like glue. But yeah, Lola has been very, very she like, my man, he loves me. You ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, look, hey.
I need the other couple to come out, allegedly, and that is Jada and Jay, because the other day in the match he hit her little pump move. He throw this.
I saw that. There was a thumbnail that came across my Twitter feed, where someone had caught Jada in a parking lot.
Yeah, it's a video. They were like, in the parking lot to give
it was her by herself. In like recent days, it was her by herself, and somebody caught her in the parking lot and like did like an impromptu interview with her and stuff like that. And the thumbnail itself was implying that the person who did that impromptu interview with Jada had asked her about her relationship with Jay Uso or whatever the case is. But I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you whether or not she spoke to it or not at the end of the day. But with the Aleister Black thing defeating Damian Priest, he used a very old school tactic. He used a fireball to defeat Damian Priest by platinum.
You know what? The fireball. First of all, he struggled with the fireball,
Yeah.
but then it's the missed black mass that he hit. He kicked him in the shoulder, and he can't get his leg that high. And
I mean,
Damien
to be fair,
flop.
Priest is a tall dude. Dude.
Flop. And all I could think in my head when I saw her come out was, "Hey, Miss Shirley, how you doing? Is that? Can we just have like you remember how we had mixed match challenge? Can we do that now and
It
just
seems
have
like
Jada and Jay
they're
and
slowly walking their way there.
CM Punk and all of those? I just need all of that. I need
They're,
a mismatch challenge.
they're slowly walking their way there. It seems like they're going to do that again sometime soon. But yeah, that scene that that ended there. There could be a potential call up for Lola to be paired with Damian Priest. Who knows at the end of the day? But we
Listen,
shall see how that all works.
Jada and Jay as an alleged couple. Let me explain. What really caught the fire of people, because I've been screaming it for months, is that a man caught them in the parking lot. He does like custom hair. And he says, I gave you a hat back. I gave you a hat back in the day. And he said, which one do you want? And then Jay will get the other hat. It's dark. It's pitch black dark. They're getting in the car. She says, I want this hat. And Jay said, oh, okay. She's like, because you took my last hat the other day. And he was like, oh, well, I'll take this hat. Man was straight up recording him handing these hats to them. And at the moment she said, you took my hat the other day, so this hat is mine. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, you right. I was like, y'all in a pitch black dark, walking out of the building. This man catches you. And you tell him, you took my hat the other day. That means y'all were together the other day. And when I went back and thought about it, it wasn't no wrestling happening. You wasn't even on the show. So that means y'all were together on the off work network. Okay.
I feel like I'll speak for myself. When it comes to the wrestler's personal stuff, keep it to where it's at. Unless you want to put it
find out because I like to see when they do. They look like if we didn't know that they were having some kind of thing when he did her move in the ring, we would have just been like, oh, that's a tribute to something. No, he was doing. She did his move in the pay-per-view, last pay-per-view with the little move he does with the when he comes out to the ring. She did that too. So I'm like, okay, I like y'all together.
At the end of the day,
houses may be broken, but at least you know you have to find what you like.
As long as folks are straight and people are in good spaces, I'm all for it. But when it comes to messiness and all that stuff, man, keep that shit off my timeline and all that. So
you don't want another Sammy Guevara moment.
Nah, man, that to me, I think that's one of the main reasons as to why I don't like the kid. But I'll be beyond that.
I mean, how can you trust them? How can you trust them?
At the end of the day, like I said, keep their personal stuff out of it. At the end of the day, hopefully something comes of this pairing with Aleister Black and Zelina Vega.
Oh, did you see the interview that Nick Nemeth had?
The one with CVV?
I think so. When he talked about how gross the kiss was,
I didn't get to see that. No,
AJ Lee,
mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, you're a hater from the Himalayas. But ladies and gentlemen, he probably wished that kiss was like CM Punk's. That one right there, that was one of the go down in ages. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna move on to the next company. You already know what that company is. It is. Oh no, sorry, I forgot about the pay-per-view. We had Crown Jewel. It was a watch along for me. I appreciate all you all who came out or watched the replay. Got some new subscribers. Appreciate all you all. Because your girl was up at 8 a.m. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, while me and Jay News go back to the back. We had opening up the show, Bronson Reed defeating Roman Reigns in an Australian street fight. We had the WWE Women's Crown Jewel 2025 title match where we saw Stephanie Vaquer defeat Tiffany Stratton. We had John Cena defeat AJ Styles. We had Io Sky and Rhea Ripley defeat the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane. And for the Crown Jewel 2025 men's match, we saw Seth Rollins beat Cody Rhodes. Hateful. That was a travesty upon God. J News, did you see this? We already know I saw this, but did you see this?
I did not see this event or watch Crown Jewel. I was I just wasn't. I haven't been watching the WWE stuff like that as of late. So it is what it is there. I know what happened. I know how it all broke down. It was interesting to see how Roman Reigns was defeated by Bronson Reed. I take that as the classic Roman Reigns giving Bronson Reed the rub here. So they've got to do something here with Bronson Reed getting the win over Roman Reigns. They have to capitalize on that. So that's just from
it was it started on the pre-show. They hinted that if Bronson just happens to win this match, how does it go for Seth? Seth has not been able to beat Roman. So if Bronson do it, how does that look? And then they start talking about if he lost to Cody Rhodes, how would that look like either? But then everybody got involved in the match. When the match, essentially Jay was going to spear Bronson, but accidentally Bronson moved out of the way and he speared Roman into the table. After the match, they put it where you could hear Roman screaming, "Everybody think that I can't do nothing without y'all. This is why I told y'all not to come out here. Y'all told y'all not to come out here. People really think I can't do nothing without y'all. I can't win. I can't do nothing without people backing me. I wanted to show people that I could do it on my own." Then he walks out. Then you cut back. They cut back to the ring, zoom in. Jay starts screaming. That man gonna always do him. He only concerned about him. See, that's what I'm talking about. That Roman's only concerned about him. And then he walks out. And Jimmy is just left standing there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, let's be realistic here. From a storyline standpoint, the WWE made it so, or made it in such a way where Roman Reigns couldn't do anything without any help, and now all of a sudden he wants to do stuff without help. So that's the transition we're in now, right? This is the evolution of the Roman Reigns character. Now that he wants to do things on his own without help and things and things of that nature. But then we're also at the same time within this storyline, it also seems like we're turning Jey Uso. So we'll see how that all turns out. That's interesting. That's another interesting dynamic of the bloodline. And then
Paul congratulated Bronson with a Braun Breaker back in the back when they cut to in between matches and stuff. He was congratulated, he was like, "Yeah, you did this. I know you could do this." Flash forward, you went back with Friday. He told Seth, Friday or Monday, he told Seth, if you don't win this, I don't know if I can even still be in your corner. So it's beginning to do this little table shift where Seth can't do anything without backup, but his backup is doing now better than he is. Because now you got Bronson, who has done something Seth couldn't do.
Yeah, he beat Roman.
And they were saying that the only person in the past 5 years who really beat Roman was Cody. So, yeah, you beat Cody, but you didn't beat the man. You beat the man who beat the man. Whereas your lackey beat the man.
We'll see how it all transpires, but it seems like they're starting to percolate some storylines with some depth now in comparison to what has been the last couple of months. So I got to give the WWE credit there. With the Crown Jewel 2025 Women's Championship, Stephanie Vaquera won that one. Kind of knew that was going to be the case, even though the girls had a great match, Tiffany and Stephanie. So props to the ladies on that. What people are calling a supposed match of the year here.
I would say right now it's my top.
The John Cena versus AJ Styles the match here. I have to go back and watch it to see as to what the hubbub is about. I know they did a lot of callbacks and homages to a lot of their different opponents throughout the years that they
they did. He did I think the moment that got me the most was when he did the Sister Abigail, and then he looked up in the sky, and all of a sudden everybody put their cameras up for the fireflies. And I started to literally, you look back on the camera, I literally started tearing because it was just like, and somebody put, I have to send it to you, J News, but somebody put a compilation together of him getting the moves that he did on AJ Styles done to him by all these characters, the RKO, he wanted to punt AJ Styles in the head. My favorite thing is he pretended like he was going to do the 619, but AJ caught him before he could attempt to do it. Like it was all these flashbacks that when you see them side by side, you go, wow, he went like the Undertaker, the Canes, like he went, and then for AJ to be able to do Christopher Daniels' move and other people's moves is like to see them go back and forth. And then also what was heartwarming and kind of tear jerking is that John Cena gets his normal introduction. John Cena stops her before she gets to introduce AJ Styles, gives her a paper, and he starts out by saying he's the face that runs the place. He's the whole TNA. He's total nonstop action man. Like he really gave him his flowers when he didn't have to, and it wasn't like something you could tell was scripted because AJ was shocked and taken aback. Like he backed up in the corner, like what? Like he was shocked by it.
Yeah, no, I saw those moments online, the stuff that was cut out for video purposes and stuff like that, and I can definitely appreciate everything there from a match standpoint. Is really what I want to watch, how things went, because I can understand, and it's been said before, or a lot, should I say, that WWE is really more about the moments than it is the actual in-ring wrestling and things of that nature. So when people talk about match of the year, give me the match. Don't tell me about the moments, right? So
the match. I think what made this special was the match was good and it had moments in there that took you back to a place where it was like, oh, this is fun again. This is good again.
Right. And that's really more or less the reaction I saw online, that people were having fun with the match, and I like that about it. So that's why I want to go back and watch it in its entirety and stuff like that. Io Sky and Rhea, they defeated the Kabuki Warriors in what seemed to be a very well received match across the board. I got to go back and see as to how the ladies went about it. And then a match I really had, I really wasn't looking forward to at all, just because I haven't been into. All right, we're back. Just because I haven't been into what Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes have been doing as of late. Seth Rollins finally won. He finally defeated Cody Rhodes. He needed some help, from my understanding, right, Dolores?
Yes, he got a lot of help from Brian Breaker, and it seemed like everybody and their mama came out, and it was like, oh, here we go again. This flips the script because Bronson only needed Braun Breaker to kind of interfere with the Usos and stuff like that. Whereas, because essentially, if you think about it, it was 3-on-2. It was Roman and the Usos against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed defeated Roman Reigns, where it took an army and a navy to beat Cody Rhodes. And and he took the watch that Cody gave him to cheat to win.
Mm.
And so it's like flashback to when Cody got his watch. And they went back to WrestleMania when Seth helped him, and Seth was essentially, I can't knock him because I felt like I would have said the same thing. Seth said, "I helped you to get rid of Roman, yet you end up helping him, and you lost your title for what? What reason? But if you had just walked away and never went back, never looked back, never tried to help them, it would." He's like, "That's when I lost respect for you." And so that was the moment where it's like full circle. Now Cody is facing a Roman, mini Roman, and Seth. But overall, I really like this pay per view from beginning to end. Um, had fun while doing it, trying to see what's gonna happen tomorrow morning. So we'll see. And hey, Miss Joy, hope all is well. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go back to the back. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. When we get to AEW, there's gonna be a J News event because J News does not know I've been injured. J News, I had a multitude of injuries. I got because EMS and everybody else had to come out here, but I wasn't watching wrestling too much. I've been taking some pills make you high as a bird, and I've been taking naps. And AEW, it watched me. I watched it twice, and it watched me. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, All Elite Wrestling, AEW Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen, they had Title Tuesday on the 7th, where Jon Moxley defeated Tomohiro Ishii by referee decision, with a 6-man tag team street fight where the Hurt Syndicate defeated the Demand, which is Bishop Kong, Ricochet, and Toa Leona. We had the Jurassic Express of Jack Perry and Luchasaurus defeat KM and Orion. We had for the AEW TNT title match, Kyle Fletcher defeat Kyle O'Reilly. For the AEW TBS title match, we had Mercedes Moné defeat Lacey Lane. And for the AEW tag team title / AEW unified title double jeopardy match, the Don Callis family, Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita defeated Brody King and Brodito of Brody King and Bandito. We also saw Orange Cassidy defeat Pac. J News, did you see this and what did you think about it?
Yeah, I actually was able to see the Title Tuesday show the day after. Caught it on HBO Max. So the Jon Moxley versus Tomohiro Ishii match was another banger between those two. Big Tom always comes in to do big things, especially against Jon Moxley. So that was a great match within itself. The Hurt Syndicate match versus the Demand, the street fight that it was. I really wasn't expecting much from this match, but it turned out to be a hell of a lot of fun. Ricochet taking a lot of physical abuse and damage and things of that nature throughout the match. Bishop Khan and Toa Leona dishing out some violence there, as well as Bobby Lashley and MVP and Shelton Benjamin did their things as well. But we're gonna get a version of this match. So this is going to be a tag team match. It's going to be Bobby and Shelton versus Bishop Khan and Toa Leona this week on Dynamite. So as they continue their series of matches, the Jurassic Express match was more of a what do they call it? This was a match for them to go up against enhancement talent, as they coined the phrase for jobbers nowadays. So that was a quick match for Jurassic Express. Looking strong and things of that nature. The TNT title match, another great match between the Kyles. Kyle squared here, Kyle Fletcher, the champion, versus Kyle O'Reilly, Coral Combat, as we all know him online. Dude, what a match between these two, man. Kyle Fletcher just doesn't seem to have, so far, doesn't seem to have a bad opponent, doesn't seem to have bad chemistry with anybody. And Kyle Fletcher is on a run of a lifetime right now. So continued success there. And I hope for bigger and better things for Kyle O'Reilly as well. I think that him and I think that Kyle um and Roddy should be going after those tag belts sometime down the line as well. They shouldn't just be TV guys for the fulfillment of it. So we'll see as to what happens there in the future. Mercedes Moné was going up against in this case it was supposed to be a surprise local Florida talent that was supposed to be vying for the TBS championship. It ended up being Lacey Lane, uh, uh, formerly known as Caden Carter on WWE TV. Lacey Lane did her thing in this match. I got to give the young lady credit. She went out there and she balled out against Mercedes, and Mercedes, uh, you know, wise beyond her years, gave Lacey Lane basically her best singles match ever. And credit to both ladies. Mercedes Moné obviously retained her championship here, but it was a great showing for Lacey Lane. This was not Lacey Lane's first time wrestling under the AEW/ROH banner. She's had, I believe, a match or two on ROH TV in the last month or so. So it wasn't much of a surprise to see her here in this spot against Mercedes. I thought they were gonna either bring in somebody who had never faced Mercedes before. In the case of Lacey Lane, she never faced her, but had never been on any previous AEW programming at all. But in this case, they brought in Lacey Lane, but it was still a really good match. The tag match between the DCF and Brodito was great. They kept on adding towards the tension between Okada and Takeshita, with them teaming together. They definitely made this match more about how Bandito came into the match hurt with his dislocated shoulder. So the tag team of Takeshita and Okada concentrated on throwing Bandito around on that shoulder, and they were able to single him out and keep him away from Brody long enough in order to get that win over Brodito here. So with that being said, with the challengers winning the eliminator match, now they get a tag team title match at Wrestle Dream coming up this Saturday. So we'll see that rematch coming up this Saturday. And then the main event of the show, which I found surprising, was Orange Cassidy versus Pac. Now, mind you, this match had been a main event on AEW programming previously in the era where Orange Cassidy was the international champion and when Pac was the international champion. But now these two guys, they're not champions of any sorts. This was Pac's first match back in over 6 months. And man, what can I say, man? This dude's a consummate professional. Pac, that is. He didn't miss a beat in this match. He came out with a new look. Not just a haircut, but he came out with new ring gear as well. That was like a whole talking point online for some reason. People hated the new gear, and I was like, yo, it's just gear. Get a grip, people. Get a grip. And Orange Cassidy coming back here, looking like he hasn't lost a step either himself. I think this is like his third or fourth match back since coming back from injury. And these two guys put on a dynamite banger. And that ended in Orange Cassidy defeating Pac with a roll up, specifically with his legs tied together, getting that down force and making it hard for Pac to kick out. But this further takes about the feud between the DCF and the conglomeration. So we'll be seeing different iterations of tag team matches and singles matches between the members of the conglomeration and the DCF, as we have been seeing. We're going to continue to see that going forward and things of that nature. So that was all of Dynamite on Title Tuesday and how it went down.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. J News is going to go to the back. And we're going to go on to the next show, which is Ring of Honor ROH. Ladies and gentlemen, ROH took place on the 9th on ROHWrestling.com on the app. We saw ROH World Title match. Bandito defeat Hechicero. We had Sean Taylor defeat Beef. We had Billy Starks defeat Viva Van. We had the Spanish Announce Project, which is Angelico and Serpentico, defeat Logan Cruz and Tashawn Perez. We had for the IWGP Women's Title match, Sari. Did I pronounce that right? Because I always pronounce it wrong. Sari. Defeat Alex Windsor.
Yeah. Short ROH episode this week. The Bandito versus Hechicero match was from their match at Arena Mexico from last Friday, I believe, where Bandito hurt his shoulder. So that was just a replay there from their match there. So props to CMLL and ROH/AEW for being able to air that footage behind the paywall. Shane Taylor STP is now seeming to go into a storyline here with members of the Workhorsemen along with Beef as they came out. The Workhorsemen, that is JD Drake and his partner, they came out for the save on Beef here when STP was trying to beat Beef down after Shane Taylor got the win on Beef. Billy Starks versus Viva Van. It's been a while since I've seen Viva on TV or on ROH, so glad to see Viva working her contract here. Big Bill getting another win here. I believe this was Pure Rules as well. So that tournament continues to go on. And then the match of the night was the IWGP Women's Title match versus Sari, the Sun God, defeating Alex Windsor. That match, for folks who want to go out of your way to watch that match, it was a really, really good match, is now live on YouTube on the ROH YouTube channel and also the All Elite Wrestling YouTube channel. So you can catch it there for free if you want to go out of your way to watch that match, because it was really, really good between Sari and Alex Windsor. Hopefully we see Sari back on American soil and on ROH/AEW TV again in the near future. And Alex Windsor continues to have a bang up 2025. So I just wanted to say that about the show.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to Collision. It was when they had to cut off. Collision on yesterday on TNT, HBO Max. It was the homecoming edition. We had the triangle of madness. Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Thekla defeat Harley Cameron, Chris Statlander, and Tony Storm. We also had Josh Alexander defeat Kota Ibushi by countout. We had um, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster defeat Big Bill and Brian Keith. We had TJ, Anna Jay, and Ty Mello defeat Carolina Cruz and Dream Girl Ellie. We had Eddie Kingston defeat the Beast Mortos. We had Live Faction Inglaterra, which is Jalistico, Roosh, and Sammy Guevara defeat MXM TV, which is Johnny TV, Mansur, and Mason. We had FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood alongside Megan Bain defeat Jet Speed of Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey with Willow Nightingale in their corner. What did you feel about this, J News?
It was another solid episode of Collision. I thought that the way they went about it here, the way I watched it last night on HBO Max, Josh Alexander versus Kota Ibushi was the first match that aired, and it ended via countout due to an injury that happened to Kota Ibushi. It was a freak injury nonetheless. You can actually see and watch Josh Alexander ask the referee, as the referee counted to 10. Josh Alexander mouthed, "What happened?" He didn't know as to what happened with Kota Ibushi. Kota unfortunately succumbed to a freak accident. I believe Josh Alexander was going for some sort of a move off the top rope where Kota Ibushi was in the fireman's carry position on Josh Alexander's shoulders, but Kota Ibushi's right foot was caught under that steel piping in the corner of the ring. So when Josh Alexander went to go lift Kota Ibushi from there, Kota Ibushi's foot got caught. Kota then tumbles down from the top rope. Kota tries to brace himself on the guardrail by the ring, because it was the space around the ring was so tight, be it that they were at Daly's place. Kota tried to brace himself against the guardrails. He wasn't able to. Kota landed very awkwardly on his in his thigh quadricep area, and unfortunately, we learned over the last 24 hours that Kota Ibushi had a broken femur due to this injury, and he had to have emergency surgery for this broken femur. And Kota Ibushi is right now in better spirits, and he says that he is going to try his damnedest to come back, and he doesn't want this particular injury to be the end of his wrestling career. So I don't know of anyone who's ever had a broken femur before. I don't know how long this injury takes to come back from. So we'll see as to how that goes about. But hopes, well wishes, and prayers to Kota Ibushi on his recovery from that injury. To break down the rest of the show, the Triangle of Madness match with the girls versus Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander and Toni Storm. That was a fun match between all the ladies. Chris Statlander and Toni Storm still creating that tension between one another before they head on to their match.
Hold on. FJ News is me. I think it's me, Jesus. It's me. Okay, can you hear me now, Daniel? There we go.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go on to TNA.
Whoa! Time out! I didn't get to finish.
Go ahead.
So Chris Statlander, Toni Storm, they continue to bubble up that tension between the two of them. So we saw that in the ring. Chris Statlander almost taking out Toni Storm, but that was stopped, and things of that nature. Then they had a backstage promo there, which I think everybody should go out of their way to watch, because Harley Cameron is hilarious as usual. Chris and Tony faced off and things of that nature. And then on the other side of the match, the Triangle of Madness also had a backstage segment post-match after their win, where they caught a beatdown from Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter. So they continue to bubble on that particular feud as well, going into the women's first Blood and Guts match that'll happen in North Carolina on November 12th. Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, two guys who are on opposite sides of the spectrum right now, even though they're competing as a tag team. They won their match against Big Bill and Brian Keith. Ty J, they have been showcased as one of the strong women's tag teams going into this future tag team tournament. So they took on local enhancement talent of ladies there. Eddie Kingston probably looked the strongest he's looked in a singles match since his return from injury. Eddie beating Beast Mortos, and Beast Mortos doesn't have bad matches, so I think this was a good match for Eddie Kingston to have. La Facción, Drolistico, Rush, and Sammy Guevara, they beat MXM handedly. That wasn't anything out of the ordinary, but MXM TV is on TV to do comedy spots and things of that nature, and have their own version of an open challenge and stuff like that. So we'll see as to whoever they face off, whatever the next trio is, to face off with them next week on Collision. And then the match of the night was the main event. The Top Gods, Megan Bayne and FTR, took on the Jet Speed Babes of Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, and Willow Nightingale. The heels won in this particular match. There was some shenanigans that went on there, where Penelope Ford ended up doing a doomsday device on Willow Nightingale behind the referee's back, and then they got the pin there. But I also want to mention as well that the women got in there with the men, and vice versa. And it wasn't one of those, the men had to be in there with the men and the women had to be in there with the women. Nah, everybody got their chance to shine here against one another. Men versus men, men versus women, women versus women. Everybody got tagged on this one. And it was a really, really fun match to watch. So it was a very solid episode of Collision. So I wanted to end that there.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to TNA. Guess what? I'm going to go through this real quick, because I ain't going to tell you to go back and watch none of it, okay? We had 3 matches. Matt Cardona defeated Ryan Nemeth in 5 minutes and 58 seconds. We had Mustafa Ali defeat JDC. And in a no disqualification match, we had Eric Young defeating Joe Hendry. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, and hi, Ten, how are you doing? And give you your proper hi. How are you doing? So, next, ladies and gentlemen, is GCW Game Changer Wrestling. And on yesterday, they had day one of GCW Fight Club, The Art of War. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we had Teriyaki defeat Tony Deppen. We had KJ Orso defeat Man Like Doris. I enjoyed that match. We had a six-way scramble match where Joey Janela defeated Austin Luke, Logan, Lucky 13, Ryan Clancy, and Will Cruz. We had a hardcore match where one called Manders defeated Beastman. We had the Nick Gage Invitational 10 qualifying death match where Otis Cougar defeated Emerson James. And in the Art of War Games match, we had Team GCW, which consisted of Bam Sullivan, Drew Parker, Effie, Matt Tremont, and Mr. Danger. Watch yourself, because he's the man right here. Sing it. Defeat Team JCW, which consisted of Too Tough Tony. Pray for me every time I have to say this name. Cocaine, Madman Pondo, Shane Mercier, and Willie Mack. Okay? I overall enjoyed this show because I enjoy hardcore shows anyway. But the show I enjoyed the most out of these two was this upcoming show. It was House of Glory. And it says, with glory comes pride 2025. Okay? It was for the ROH World Tag title match. Bandito defeated Hector. Oh, wait a minute. Why did it come back again? We'll get that to you next week. Also, if you all were here last week, we went over Prestige show. They did not put up the results, and I saw the show, but I didn't write down the results. So I'm gonna rewatch it, write it down, and we'll talk about that and the ROH show next week. New Japan Pro Wrestling Road to the King of Pro Wrestling. We have night 2.
Yes, so night 2 was on the 6th of October. We had Masatoru Yasuda and Zayn J defeat Shomakato and Tetsuya Matsumoto. Hiroshi Tanahashi, along with Katsuya Murashima, defeated El Phantasmo and Jado. Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors and Jordan Maloney came back. They defeated House of Torture members Sanada Yoshinobu Kanemaru via countout. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Don Fale, Evil, and Sho defeated Kuakai, Oleg Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Toru Yano. Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, Titan, and Yota Tsuji of the unaffiliated defeated Bullet Club War Dog members David Finley, Gabe Kid Gato, and Taiji Ishimori. Shota Umino defeated Oscar. Yua Uemura defeated Yuto Ice. And for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match, we had El Desperado, the champion, get defeated. And there was a title change here. El Desperado was defeated by, I believe it was Sho. Oh no, Doki. Sorry, Doki is now the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight champion, as the referee decided to stop the match at the 17-minute, 17-second mark. So the special Superman Taiji Ishimori is More Reckless show happened a couple of days ago, I believe. This was Taiji Ishimori's anniversary show, as it goes. So this was on the 7th. Pre-block match, we had Jun Kasai, the Deathmatch King, defeat Taiji Ishimori. And then he defeated Taiji Ishimori, Daiki Nagai, and Katsuya Murashima. Iron Man's secret block match, we had Atsushi Kotoge, Brahman K, Brahman Shu, Dump Matsumoto, the living legend, Jun Akiyama, another living legend, Jun Kasai, Leona, Muhammad Yone, Shiro Koshinaka, and Taiji Ishimori. That went to a no contest. That lasted half an hour. We had more Iron Man stuff, because this was supposed to be an entire show where Taiji Ishimori was involved in every match, and he was supposed to go through every match. So this was the Iron Man Tohoku muscle block match. Mao versus Mao and Yo defeated Taiji Ishimori. Dick Togo, Ryosuke Taguchi, Shuji Ishikawa, and Takumi Shinoku, along with Taro Nohashi and the Great Sasuke. We then had an Iron Man Rumble muscle block match. It was Mao yet again defeating Taiji Ishimori, Drilla Maloney, Hayo, Koju Takeda, Oleg Bolton, Ryohei Oiwa, Sho, Teton, and Yo. We had the Iron Man Rumble Dragon block match. Taiji Ishimori finally getting a win here over Dragon Dia, Hiratimo Dragon, Kagetora, Mao, Ryuji Ito, Shingo Takagi, Shun freaking Skywalker, and Tatsumi Fujinami, the Dragon. And then for the final match, it was a one-on-one where Taiji Ishimori ended up defeating, of all people, Gato.
Listen, if you go back,
sure.
because I had to go, once I got the results, I had to go back and find this because I was like, I can't believe this. You have to remember, this man was in every match.
Yes.
And 1, 2, 3, 40 matches lasted 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Where he was fighting for his life. And, he barely got the last win. And then when he got the Gator, I was like, if you lose this, I'm going to be mad. Okay? So if you want to watch something funny and fun, and definitely go watch that.
We had more of the road to King of Pro Wrestling. This was on the 9th, which was a couple of days ago. Katsuya Murashima and Zayn J defeated Shomakato and Tatsuya Matsumoto. Yua Uemura defeated Daiki Nagai. House of Torture members Sonata and Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors and Jill Maloney. El Phantasmo and Jado defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi and Masatoru Yasuda. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Don Fale, Doki, Evil, and Sho defeated El Desperado. Kukai, Oleg Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Toru Yano. In a non-title tag team match, we had the Knockout Brothers, Oscar and Yuto Ice, defeat Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma. And then we had the members of the unaffiliated here, Shingo Takagi, Teton, Yoda Tsuji, and who's up front? And Hiromu Takahashi, defeating Bullet Club War Dog members David Finley, Gabe Kid Gato, and Taiji Ishimori. On to the 11th, which was yesterday. We had Shomakato and Tatsuya Matsumoto defeat Masatoru Yasuda and Zayn J. Shota Umino defeated Katsuya Murashima. Bullet Club War Dog members Clark Connors and Jill Maloney defeated House of Torture members Sonata and Yoshinobu Kanemaru via countout. House of Torture members Dick Togo, Don Fale, and Evil defeated Oleg Bolton, Tiger Mask, and Toru Yano. In a non-title tag team match, we had the Knockout Brothers of Oscar and Yuto Ice defeat Tomoaki Hanma and Yua Uemura via referee stoppage. That match never started. It was just they were just pounding on each other from beginning to end, and they never got the match in the ring. Bullet Club War Dogs, David Finley, Gabe Kid, Gato, and Taiji Ishimori defeated Daiki Nagai, Shingo Takagi, Teton, and Yota Tsuji of the unaffiliated. And for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title match, we had the House of Torture, the champions of Doki and Sho, defeat El Desperado and Kukai. On to the
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the preview time. It's ready for the previews. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start out with TNA Wrestling. Bound for Glory. Ladies and gentlemen, Bound for Glory is on the 12th. We are going to talk off about the first match they're going to have. It's on the kickoff show, and that'll be on YouTube. They'll add more matches to it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is for on the kickoff show. It'll be countdown show, actually. TNA Knockouts World Title Match, the inspiration of Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay versus the Elegance brand of Heather by Elegance and M by Elegance. Then we go on to the main show, which will be on Trilla TV or your pay-per-view provider. TNA International Title Match, Frankie Kazarian versus Steve Macklin. We have TB, she made me sick, versus Gia Miller. We have TNA X Division Title Match, Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. We have the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, Mance Warner, Lee Ying Lee versus many other people. We have a hardcore war match where the System, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards, JDC, and Moose will face Order of Four, Jason Hotch, John Schuyler, Mustafa Ali, Special Agent Zero, and Tasha Steele. We'll have the Knockouts World Title match, Kalani Jordan versus Indy Hartwell. We have the World Tag Team title slash NXT title match will be Jesus Christ. The Hardys, Jeff and Matt Hardys versus Team 3D of Bully Ray and Diva. We will have the TNA World Title match, which is Trick Williams versus Mike Santana. Now I'm looking forward to one of these matches. That's the Hardys versus Team 3D because I don't know how Devon is going. I don't know. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the next show is for GCW Game Changer Wrestling. It is the second night of the Fight Club Art of War. Sister K just didn't put it in there? Okay. Oh, yeah, I know why it is. Because we only had one match listed. Well, three matches listed. It was Charles Mason Crew and Slade versus VNDL48, which is Atticus and Otis Cougar and Christian Napier. We have the death match with Drew Parker and Mr. Danger. And we have KJ Orso and Marcus Mathers. That was all listed on the show. I didn't want to waste no paper on that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to New Japan.
King of Pro Wrestling show, which will air tomorrow on the 13th of October. So to start off the show, we have the unaffiliated Hiromu Takahashi, Shingo Takagi, and Teton versus the Blue Club War Dogs, Clark Connors, David Finlay, and Taiji Ishimori. In a no DQ match, we're going to have Sonata versus Drilla Maloney one-on-one. 6-man tag team action. Bishamon, the return of Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi, along with Yo, taking on TMDK members Hartley Jackson, Koji Fujita, and Ryohei Oiwa. NJPW World Television title match. It's going to be El Phantasmo, the champion, versus Hiroshi Tanahashi in their last match. Never open weight title. We're going to have Oleg Boltin versus Evil. IWGP Women's title match, which just got announced 2 days ago. It's going to be the Sun God herself, Sari, going one-on-one against Shuri. That should be a banger. There has been a lot of traction since that match was announced, and they've sold a lot of tickets. So it seems like the ladies are outdrawing the men in Japan right now. So keep it going, Gato and Taro Okada. Keep booking the women on New Japan shows. IWGP Tag Team title match. Knockout Brothers Oscar and Yuto Ice are going to go up against Shota Umino and Yu Uemura. For the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, it's going to be the third iteration of Gabe Kidd versus Yota Tsuji. And then for the IWGP World Heavyweight title match, we're going to have Zack Sabre Jr. go one-on-one against the one and only the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to AEW. And next weekend, well, this coming weekend, they will be having Wrestle Dream. Ladies and gentlemen, it'll be on the 18th. And I'm not going to go into these dollar tag team matches. That's ridiculous. Because the Young Bucks nor does the Jurassic Express need this money. Only person who need this money in this match is Luchasaurus. The Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson versus the Jurassic Express of Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. We have AEW Tag Team title match, Bandito, and Brody King versus the Don Callis family of Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. We have the AEW TNT title match, Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. I Quit match is John Moxley versus Darby Allin. AEW Women's title match, Chris Statlander versus Tony Storm. And for the AEW World title match, Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. Now, they do have a buy-in show that comes on YouTube. Those will be added on some normal times the day before the matches. These probably have some more added onto it. But I always tell people, just wait. And then I have a special announcement about this show in towards the end. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? That is the end. Oh, well, I already told you my spotlight. My spotlight of the week is AJ Styles. First of all, shorts AJ Styles is my best AJ Styles. Okay. If you all did not know, I love AJ Styles. Just a good old Georgia boy. Just a good old Georgia boy. Out here defending the world. Out here making memories and dreams come true. Also, shout out to that girl while I'm thinking about it. Shout out to that girl who loves Cody Rhodes so much that she has a replica jacket of his. And that a person from WWE tapped her on her shoulder and gave her the jacket that he did the walkthrough, his like sweatsuit jacket with his signature on it, that he told her amongst all these Cena fans that had all the yellow on, she had his outfit on, and he was like, "Thank you for fighting the good fight." And he signed it and had them give it to her. And I thought that that was so amazing. But speaking of AJ Styles, he has been everywhere. He's been the man everywhere, and he has been such. I hate to see him retire. I hate to see him retire. Especially it's like you're in the best shape, you're doing the best. But I understand he's a family man and family comes first. And that's something that I do admire about him is that he has always put his family first. And that's rarely do you see that in the wrestling business. So for that, AJ Styles is my spotlight of the week. Jay News, you got anything to say about AJ Styles?
No. I said all my piece about AJ Styles earlier on the recording and stuff like that. Man, one of my favorite guys to watch throughout throughout the tenure of his career. I started watching AJ Styles when he was a young wrestler back in the WCW Thunder days, and then when he went over to TNA and stuff like that, and then he was doing TNA and ROH at the same time for folks who forget. And it like Delores said, AJ Styles has been the man everywhere he went. After his long stint with TNA, he went to Japan for about a year or two. Took over Japan. He was the boss dog over at the.
That's what Cena had them call him. They call him the boss of the Bullet Club.
Yeah. He was the top boss, so he went over there. He won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at the time. He won that away from Kazuchika Okada. And then after his New Japan contract was up in 2016, I want to say, he ended up walking out at the WWE's Royal Rumble, and he hasn't looked back since. And so he's about to have spent at least the same amount of time, or maybe a year less, with the WWE than he did with TNA. So imagine that. And yeah, man, AJ's been fantastic for the wrestling business. One of the guys who gets emulated the most, based on his in-ring work and things of that nature. And yeah, man, Uncle Allen is the man. And hope that he retires on his he is going to retire on his own accord, and he's going to retire on top and still working at the rate that everybody remembers him most for. So props to AJ Styles.
Thank you. Shout out to my cousin who was over on Instagram. I didn't see you over there. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go. I don't really have a chat GPT or a rap song this week. I've been dog tired. They've been walking me down. But I do want to spotlight J News. And before we do, I want to let you all know, starting from yesterday to forever, we will start back doing our predictions. Listen, I'm going to go back into my Talk Smack ball. If you think you can beat me, okay, as Cardi B said, get in the stew, you just wasting time. Just listen. You can get on the thing. You can try to beat me in J News, but you can't, okay? Just try. Just try. If you feel the need for speed, click that prediction when it come out on my post or when it's on the first part of a watch along and try to do it. By saying that, I'm going to say I do a lot of WWE content. Yes, I do, because a lot of people who are older generation know WWE the best. But AEW is covered mostly by Workers Wrestling Network, and I manage them. And guess what? They starting their predictions back too. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are an AW fan and you want to try and listen, I'm gonna be over there too. So if you think you can beat me, come on over there. Try, but I know you're gonna lose. So don't listen. If you don't wanna cry, that will stay out the pot because the kitchen is real hot. I'm burning it. Okay. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to do the predictions with me, I probably will do other predictions like we cover New Japan when they do major shows, TNA when they do things, but AEW will be covered by Workhorse Wrestling Network. Okay. So when I put the link out, make sure you try. Listen, it's fun and you might can win something. Listen, I like to give away stuff sometimes. So you might want to get a chance to get on in to get your chance to win. And you might get a chance to even get up here and talk wrestling with me and Jay News. Listen, you gotta have to keep it respectful though. Because I will snatch you out like Sandman. But we're gonna give Jay News the spotlight that he truly deserves. Jay News, we gotta tell the good people.
As always, folks, appreciate everybody for coming through and watching us here on the Hit the Ropes podcast. We'll be back on next week, Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is my QR code there, folks. The QR code leads you to my link tree. My link tree leads you to all of my different socials, be it on Twitter, be it on Instagram, and be it to my Letterboxd account. My Letterboxd account has written movie reviews on there that you guys can check out for all the latest movies within the last month up until the month of September. It'll be a very, very busy next couple of weeks for me at the movie theater. So look out for new reviews on the movie on the movie front for this month, in the month of October, coming soon. They're on the Letterboxd account. To if you do click on the link tree, my podcast link is there, but it's no longer functional. My audio recorded podcast that I used to have up between all the different podcast subscribers is now currently on hiatus, so people cannot access it for the time being. That was a personal decision. There are old episodes of my audio only podcast on my YouTube channel if folks are interested in listening to those. So you can go to my YouTube link, which is also on the link tree there, to check out some old stuff. But the just the audio only podcast stuff that used to be on iHeart and Apple Podcasts and all that stuff is gone for the time being. So if I ever decide to put that to start the podcast back up, you guys will be the first ones to know. But for now, the podcast has been suspended and it's on hiatus. Outside of that, you can also check me out on True Heel Heat. I should be on there on Wednesday afternoon as we'll review the King of Pro Wrestling New Japan pro wrestling event that'll go down tomorrow. So check me out there on Wednesday. And yeah, folks, thank you as always. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And I'll see you next week.
Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, me and the mute fight more than anybody. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for coming to the Hit the Ropes podcast. We live every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your Pink Girl in Her Pink World and J News, the movie reviews. Listen, you can't help. J News is just a great man, Savannah. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to let you all know something. First of all, these are the pink ribbon in the corner. As you all know, I do, and J News is very supportive of breast cancer awareness. I am had so many family members affected by it, so much, and cancer period, that I very much every October celebrate this and try to get people to go support their local cancer centers. I here in Georgia, we have a cancer center, well, many cancer centers, which is a shame. We have many cancer centers through Emory, and I uh, have gone to one many times, and I have met some of the people there. Lovely people who are definitely here to help you. So please, if you got any donations, any prayers, please send it to the people who are fighting this horrible thing. Okay. Also, October in the middle of the month, we'll switch over to the domestic violence ribbon. Ladies and gentlemen, I am I have been affected by this too. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you need help, reach out to somebody. I have been always open to if you need my help, DM me, email me. If I can't help you, I can find somebody to help you. Please, please, please Do not suffer in silence. Reach out to someone, a family member, or if you don't even know somebody or don't trust somebody, please just let even me write me in my emails, DM me, because nobody deserves to be mistreated or hurt. Everybody deserves love and respect. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for my Crown Jewel watch along. It was so fun. We got some new subscribers. It was so great and so fun. I cannot wait to see you for the next pay per view in a few weeks on the 25th. It is Halloween Havoc. Oh, listen, your girl is gonna dress up. I got my Halloween nails. I got everything. We're gonna have a spooky, fun, festive time for Halloween Havoc, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go through some of the people I know and some of the people I work with that are very, very great. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not went over women and went to the women's closet, listen, that is a safe place. If you are just like we talked about domestic violence, if you want to come in there and you want to reach out to somebody, especially 10, please join the women's closet every Friday at 5 p.m. You can register at theeducatednatural.com/women. Come in, talk about your problems. Because as women, we hold a lot. We have to be the head of families, head of different things. We have to hold all these things in. So please come in. Just release some of that stress, release some of the things. And even if you have questions, some of the women are definitely help you get it done. Okay? I will tell y'all about the master class, but as we all know, I'm on the outside looking in, okay? Because 10 sold out before I even got a chance to even count my ducats, okay? I said, hold up, that ain't right. But maybe we'll catch on the next time, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, that wonderful lady, Miss Joy. I get to run her channel on Mondays and Thursdays, live at 6:05 PST, 9:05 EST. On Mondays, she does crafting. On Thursday, she has community prayer for all of social media. So if now you have a prayer and you want to be added to the prayer list, definitely go under Miss Joy's comment for the next live and make sure you put it in or put it on one of her posts, and we'll definitely add you in there. You can add family members, whatever you need prayer for, she will definitely pray for you. Okay. Also, we are still, I got to update this. We are still doing the community quilt. If you have a service, if you have other items you sell, you can contribute to this. This goes to the boys' foster home in California. And just to show these boys that someone cares out there, because it could feel lonely and like nobody cares about you, nobody's helping you. You don't have the basic, sometimes basic things that you truly need. Please, 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 if you, this is for the block, if you want to contribute, you can do any of these things for the block. But also, if you have a service, if you make cups, if you make, I don't know, plates or whatever you make, please donate to Miss Joy. There is her email address above. You can always catch her on Mondays and Thursdays, ask her about something. Or you can send it to the address listed above. For those who are asking, like my phone number, that is not her address. Okay. So you ain't got to worry about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Shirley, the OG Gardner, is live every Thursday at 7 p.m. EST. Listen, she gives you out great life advice and great gardening advice. So if you want to learn how to grow your garden, join Miss Shirley. And do me a favor. Make sure you check out behind her because Andy the cat, oh, he be on the troll. He be like, we ain't gonna, you ain't gonna be, listen, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. That's what Andy be saying. So make sure you go check out Miss Shirley, the OG Gardner. Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, I am the manager of Workhorse Wrestling Network, where they do all things wrestling. We play games, we do AEW. They just don't do WWE. That's when your girl step in. Okay? So make sure you go over there and check out Workhorse Wrestling Network. Just go over there, gallop on over there to Workhorse Wrestling Network. Ladies and gentlemen, to the best moderator and best gamer. It is Jaleel757. Please go check him out. Scan that QR code to get to all his social medias. Listen, some of these videos when he be at work be hilarious. Okay? So make sure you go and check him out. Have a good time over there with Jaleel757. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody who's come up here for many of my watch alongs. It is Slim Jim Longfoot. This is his personal social medias for his channel. Please scan that. But if you're looking for a great black comic book artist, him and Johnny Crest Gaming own UGI Studios, and they make these wonderful books listed here. Listen, I got the new one, and I'm ecstatic about it. So listen, if you want to get these books, make sure you go check out Slim Jim Longfoot or UGI Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, I'm Delores of Delores Designs. Yes, yes, yes. I'm just a pink girl in my pink world, here to expand your world, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is the back of my business card. Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, this is not my true phone number, okay? But this is how you can get in touch with me, my email, my phone number. You're saying, Dolores, that QR code to scan all your social medias, that's a little too small. I got you. I got a bigger one. So make sure you get your little 5-second pose in and check out all the social media and all the fun that I have, not only just here on YouTube, but on Facebook and Twitch and Twitter. And I got to start my LinkedIn. I got it and didn't do it. Kick and Twitch and Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm everywhere. Everywhere you want to be, that's me. Okay? So make sure you check that out. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're on the end tail of the show. And y'all already know what time it is. If Jaleel was here, he would already answer this question. What time is it? It's time to act the fool, y'all. Listen, it's time to get up out of here. And on behalf of my good brother J News and myself, I'd like to say, listen, as y'all see the sun beaming down on me, we have done like Seth Rollins and we have burned it down episode after episode. And we're on episode 55. You can't stop us, ladies and gentlemen. But I would like to tell you I thank you. But I also want to tell you, hey, baby boy, baby girl, man, woman, child, them, they, I don't know what you want to be today, but listen, please put your clothes on. I ain't trying to see all that, okay? I'm already going blind. I do not need any assistance, okay? But I got something that'll help you. And that's if I cut the lights off. Listen, you feel that cool breeze? Look at that. Fan blowing on me. I feel the cool breeze. But until next week, ladies and gentlemen, me and J News want to tell you peace.